Hi everyone, welcome back to Gardening from Square One. And if you are new here, welcome. I am so excited today. I placed my orders for new plants, spring plantings early, tried to make sure that I get the varieties that I want. And today, two of my plant shipments have arrived. I am getting a shipment from Bluestone Perennials, and the other shipment I'm receiving directly from Proven Winners. And these plants are primarily to fill in barren areas in the front of my long bed and a few other spaces of my garden. So I am so thrilled to show you these plants. I'll be providing details about the plants, letting you know where I'm going to place them. At least one is a 2025 variety, so it is a new Proven Winners plant, but all of them are great plants. I've done a lot of research. Some of them I already grow in other parts of my yard, so I'll be showing what these plants look like as well. So stay tuned. Okay, so here are some of the Proven Winners plants that I received today. I'm very happy with these plants. Now, first of all, I have this Proven Winners Supertunia Priscilla. So it's full to part sun, 6 to 12 inches tall and wide. It's an annual, except for in zones 10A to 11B. So for me, it's definitely an annual. It wants normal watering. So this isn't going to be a regular plant for me, and it's going to be in a small space. To be perfectly honest, there's a corner in my mott of trees where I was going to put something entirely different. I was just going to put a bunch of Artemisia silver lining, and instead I am deciding to put a bunch of these in because, well, I'm going to have a combination of you'll see. I'm going to have a combination of the two, but I just think that next to that silvery foliage on the Artemisia silver lining, this Supertunia Priscilla, it's just so gorgeous. When I opened the package and I saw these, I just thought to myself, okay, this needs to be a focal point. I mean, the purple flowers are just so gorgeous. And in the mott of tree space, I already purchased these. These are Calibri Dark Lavender. I purchased these from HEB, so the grocery store here in Zone 8B. And so it kind of is in line with the theme of that space, which is white, purple, blues. I also received this Rise Up Lilac Days. Boy, I'm tired. It's a climbing rose. And I'm losing my voice for some reason. I haven't been talking to anyone. But anyway, I grow 3 of these already. And in my long bed towards the east, I already have 2 on obelisks. And this is the 3rd that I needed for the space. And this is a Yardline Viburnum, which looks extremely happy. I am very pleased with the size of these 1-gallon plants, but this gives you an idea of the difference. I typically buy the smaller plants just because I have so many plants to purchase to fill in spaces in my garden. However, because I already had 2 of these Rise Up Lilac Days roses, and I'll show you images of how they look. I planted them last year. They were little quart plants, and you'll see what they look like in just 1 year, 1 season. And I wanted this one not to be the little pipsqueak among the 3. I wanted them to look a little more uniform, so I splurged on a 1-gallon plant here. Same thing for the Yardline Viburnum. When I planted and I show you that area, I wanted it to have, especially since it's going to be in the middle, I wanted it to be more consistent in size with the ones that are there, but I didn't expect such a large, beautiful plant. I'm not complaining, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Reminiscent pink shrub rose. Now this becomes about, I think, 4 feet in height. And yeah, 3 to 4 feet in height, 2 to 3 feet in width, and beautiful pink flowers. I have 2 of these already. I like to repeat plants that do well here. So I decided to go with another one. I have made it to the backyard, and I am going to briefly go over some of these plants that I have, show you where I'm planting them and why, and then I will return and show you the planted plants. So I have Artemisia in here. So these are silver lining Artemisia, so the leafy plants that you see here. And let's get this. So silver gray foliage, full sun, 12 to 16 inches in height and width, planted 30 to 36 inches apart. I have Veronica Lavender Lightsaber. This is just replacing some that I had a little faux pas with over in 2023. These are full sun to part shade plants, 28 to 30 inches in height. Plant them 20 inches apart. These do well here. I'm in zone 8B, and they are actually evergreen for me. This is Agastaki Poquito Blue, but the Agastaki Poquito Blue, hummingbird mint. It is for sunny borders, blooms mid-summer to fall. My Agastaki tends to bloom until the first frost. It is for full sun, part shade. This particular plant will become 14 inches in height and width. Of course, over here with all the dirt are the Brennera Jack Frost. It has pretty little blue forget-me-not-like flowers in the spring, and it is for half shade to full shade, and so I'm going to give it as much shade as I can. One will probably get pretty much half shade, and the other's going to get partial sun in the morning, so I'm going to see how they perform. I have 8 of those, and then I'm trying a new salvia, and I think this is it right here. Yeah, I have 4 of the salvia big sky middle stage. It's going to have violet blue spires in the late spring. They shoot skyward according to the tag, because I haven't grown it yet. It's new. Of large foliage, it is for full sun or mostly sun, 28 to 32 inches in height and width. So I'm really excited. So I have 4 of the salvia, I have 8 of the Brennera, I have 10 of the Artemisia, so the silver lining Artemisia, so that's this one right here. And then I have 5 of the Veronica Lavender Lightsaber. So I'm going to start planting, and let me show you where a lot of these plants are going. The method to my madness, because so many holes need to be dug. I think yesterday we dug about, I think it was 30 holes with the auger. We have a Ryobi electric auger with a 6-inch bit on it, and it took about 20 minutes to dig all of the 30 holes in this planter bed. Now the Veronica Lavender Lightsaber, just to see what it looks like, as I said, I already have these, but you'll see right here, one died, and it's not because of the plant. And then I lost 2 over here, so one right there and one over there. But this is what that beautiful plant looks like when it's in bloom. So I'm gonna have a drift of 5. Didn't have to dig holes for these because, well, it's gonna be easy. just to dig out what remained from the plants that died. But this planter bed, this, I call it my long bed, it has holes throughout for new plants. I'm primarily working on the front because I have, as you can see, I have my plants along the fence line in the middle. It is my edge of the border plants that I'm needing to add. And as you can see, there's a lot of spaces left without holes. I still have so many plants to put in this long bat. So this is just a good start. I'll be working on this for, some time, probably 2 seasons, to get it all together. This bed right here, the shrubs went in 2023, so March, April of 2023, but everything in the middle that went in beginning March of 2024. So these plants are doing quite well, but nothing's really mature. I'm really optimistic about how they're going to perform as time progresses because they're performing beautifully. Okay, so the first plant that I put in the ground is the Rise Up Lilac Days Rose. It is a climber, should become about 8 feet tall, around 4 to 6 feet wide. I already have 2, so to the left of it you'll see 2 other obelisks, and they have Rise Up Lilac Days on them as well. Don't know why I can't say lilac today, but anyway, that one's planted, and the ones that I have that I'll pop up on the screen, these were planted last fall, and you can see how much they've already grown. They're at least 3 feet in height, and they're just exploding with blooms. And those were court plants that I put into the ground. This one, remember, I showed you its arrival directly from Proven Winners, and it was a 1-gallon plant. So I'm really expecting a lot. I'll keep you guys apprised as to how well this plant grows compared to the others. Okay, so next I'm walking over to the next rose bush that I planted. It is a reminiscent pink rose. It is a Proven Winners variety as well, a 1-gallon plant. It becomes about 3 to 4 feet in height and about 2 to 3 feet in width. As mentioned, I have 2 more of these, and it is growing just to the right of a Chaitalpa tree. So this over here is a 3-gallon Chaitalpa tree that I just put in the ground back in January. And as you can see, yes, I'm a little off task, but it is a newer plant, but not new to me. So I grow 2 other Chaitalpas. The first one I planted was in the fall of 2023. So this is the third. Like I said, this one just went in. As you can see, it's about to have flowers. Sorry, it's so breezy today. So I'm walking over to the mott of tree space. This is my Chinese snowball viburnum. As you can see, it's in bloom right now. This was a quart plant. Quart or a gallon, I forget. But I put it in the ground last year. So it's doing well. It's about 3.5 feet in height. This is in the mott of tree space. This is where I put the Agastaki Poquito dark blue. So those have these stakes. So there's 3 of those. And then behind it or in front, depending upon what direction, you'll see I have 2 of the Artemisia. These are silver lining. They become about 3 feet wide. And then in front and towards the end, I have those gorgeous Supertunia Priscillas. Now they were just put in the ground yesterday, so they're in a little shock, but they will perk up. I'm confident they will perk up. Took one look at them and I said, oh, they need to be in a focal point spot. So this is where I put them. They're near the entrance of my mott of tree space. So this is my yardline viburnum from Proven Winners. It was another gorgeous 1-gallon plant. It's going to have white flowers. It'll become about 12 feet in height, 4 feet in width. It is flanked by Mystic Spire Salvia. And then I have 2 others of these plants that I put in the ground in the fall. And they were little plants. They were court plants. And it was their first winter. They're zone 7 plants. I'm in 8B. So I try to plant zone 7 plants, or I rarely buy zone 8 plants, but zone 7 plants I try to plant in the spring to give them more time to get ready for the fall, but I didn't. I am happy that they survived, and I am very optimistic about this yard lime viburnum plant. So I have 3 in this space, and I shall keep you all posted. This is the Big Sky Salvia meadow sage. It's a new variety, new introduction for the general public, so me and many of you. 2025, it's supposed to be larger, so this one should become maybe somewhere in the area 32 inches or so in height, and approximately the same for width. It's going to have gorgeous blue flowers. So right now they look like little healthy plants, and I am looking forward to see the blooms, and I will keep you all posted on how this one performs in my zone 8B Central Texas garden. Okay, now so I'm going deep into the montive tree space, and I'm going to show you all the little Brunnera that I planted. They were kind of sad looking, but I expect them to bounce back, and I put flags out just to make sure that they are protected. So I'll give it a week or so. They should perk up or start growing backwards. Hopefully they just perk up. I have very good luck with bluestone perennial plants, and I do believe that these plants remained in transit a day beyond what they were supposed to. Like I said, I'm in zone 8B, and a lot of nurseries seem to put all people in zone 8 in the same box. But I tell you, zone 8 in the south, we have very mild and short winters. It gets hot quickly. It's not the same as 8B in northern Arizona or northern California or Seattle or even parts of Oregon. Their temperatures are just milder. They don't get as hot, and they don't get as hot as quickly as we do. So I'm hoping that these plants will be just fine. Like I said, I've had good luck, and yeah. Okay, here are my Artemisia silver lining. They're a little sad looking. I hope they do well. These were court plants in those little EcoGrand pots, and I gave you the stats on those before. They're grown basically for the silver leaves. I think they'll look very nice. Most of them are in front of my Beyond Midnight Caryopteris. I think the silver in front of the dark green leaves is going to look great. And when the Caryopteris has its dark purple flowers, I think the silver leaves and the dark purple flowers will look good. And then back there, that is the first El Nino Chaitalpa that I planted. This one went in the ground in 2023, the fall of 2023. So it, just to give you some idea, it is probably about 6 feet or so in height, actually more than that. Right now, and no problems. I'm looking forward to those gorgeous fragrant blooms. This little plant right here is my Veronica Lavender Lightsaber, and it definitely doesn't look like its neighbor, which is a Veronica Lavender Lightsaber that I planted last year, so about this time last year. But again, it was in transit, I believe, for a day more than it was supposed to be, because those plants were supposed to arrive on Thursday, and there was some type of shipping delay, and I didn't receive them until yesterday. But as you can see, when it bounces back, it's going to have these gorgeous spikes of lavender purple blooms. And this plant, by the way, like I've mentioned, it is pretty evergreen here in zone 8B. So I planted 3 of these. I have 5, and what happened was I realized I planted them too deeply. So when it was too hot, I tried to dig them up and replant them. And these are the only 2 that survived because, well, I planted those at the correct height. So we have to plant everything high here in my clay soil. So right next to it, this little plant also from Bluestone Perennials. Again, in one of those eco grande pots that they call it, something to that effect. This is another Agastaki Poquito dark blue. So Rose Tour, definitely coming soon. The Purple Lodge on the right is loaded with blooms. Right in front of me, loaded with blooms showing color. It looks really red, but this is a Gloria de Ducheur. And those blooms ultimately turn a very deep burgundy purple. And then this plant on the left with blooms, plenty of blooms, a ton of blooms showing color. This is, oh, what is it, James L. Austin. And so I'm looking forward to sharing these blooms with you. Okay, back to the work from yesterday. So I'm just going to keep walking down this bed, just the waiting blooms on all kinds of plants here. Beautiful roses back there. Oh my, this is so beautiful. That is an Olivia Rose Austin. More lavender lightsaber. And another, I just planted this Agasteki Poquito, dark blue. I think that dark blue will look wonderful in front of the Veronica Lavender Lightsaber. The Poquito Agasteki grows to become about 16 inches in height, whereas the Lavender Lightsaber only becomes about 20 inches in width, but it will become about 28 inches in height. So I think that'll look smashing together with the Agasteki Blue Fortune to the right. This is another Veronica Lavender Lightsaber that I had to replace, and you'll see the one next to it. It's already starting to get color on those flower spikes. And then last but not least, Silver Lining Artemisia that I planted. That one's actually looking better than some of the others. There were a couple that I guess they were in a better position in the pot, but oh well. I have a little drift of 5 of these, and the one in the back is right in front of a Miss Violet Buddleia. So again, I think the purple blooms and the silver foliage, I think will look really, really nice together. So that's pretty much it for today, everybody. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have not clicked like, subscribe, notifications, if you'd like to see more of the content and my garden as it evolves, that's about it for now. I hope you have a great day in your garden. Bye.